What the hell? I asked as I stared at the reflection in the golden-edged mirror. I knew what had happened. The information was right there in my head, and the reality of it all was as clear as day. But still, some things were just impossible to accept. I was alive. Well, I had died, but apparently, that had changed. What the hell? I yelled. The room seemed to shake as I touched my face. The man in the mirror did the same. My name had been Bill Terrence. His name had been King Dane. He was living and I was dead. I was immortal, and he was an immortal. We had both been fine and separate just moments ago, but suddenly we were one and the same. I closed my eyes, trying to steel my nerves. Could this be a dream? Nope. There was too much information in my head for all of this to be a dream. How could I imagine reality-bending laws or godlike powers? Reincarnation? No, not exactly reincarnation. Something else. My face scrunched in horror as I realized what had happened. It wasn't quite reincarnation. Not really. It was more like a botched organ transplant of the soul, except instead of switching out something like the heart or the kidneys, some dumbass had swapped our brains. The dumbass in the mirror stared back. I looked the unfamiliar man up and down. Fundamental truths of the multiverse and all of reality suddenly sprouted in my head, and for a moment, a temporary but excruciating moment. Two different fragments of two different souls pressed together. As they merged into one, knowledge rushed into my head. As untold eons of experience bore down on my existence, my understanding of reality was rebuilt, and I saw the ends of infinity. And that was when I was truly born. The two separate souls finally clicked together, like puzzle pieces finding their place. And suddenly I felt whole. I looked back into the mirror and saw myself staring back. This was the face of King Dane, a man who had reached the 12th rank of cultivation, a man known throughout the entire multiverse, even by those of the 17th rank. The god Imperiums, Dane had reached a rare pinnacle in cultivation, soaring far above most. But I wasn't either of them. I had Dane's experience, and had seen more magic than people back on Earth had ever written about. And I had Bill's taste, so there was no way I was just going to sit here and do nothing for thousands of years. Besides, it wasn't like I needed to cultivate. I was already an immortal, and even though I wasn't at the pinnacle of all cultivation, I was more than strong enough to live peacefully. But if I wanted peace, I had to guarantee it. So if I wanted to stay alive, the best course of action would be to forge an unbreakable defense, something even the god Imperiums would not attest. I needed a retirement plan so solid that it could withstand the selfishness and cruelty of the cultivator's world. I was floating in my little pool of primordial chi. The goal had been to study primordial chi and all of its capabilities, maybe even replicate it, if I could. But holy shit, was this stuff weird? I had thought, naively, that I could learn something from it, at my current rank, but that seemed to be my arrogance speaking, instead of my common sense. Then the question was, what was I to do now? Maybe I should just blow it up? There was an explosion, which I imagined would have been ear-shattering, if not for the lack of space-time and matter for sound to travel through. And with that, where there had been almost nothing, suddenly, there was everything. Primordial chi disappeared as it took on meaning and shape. My body shuddered and my soul shook, as all I had seen and witnessed flowed through me. Existence, reality, time, people, everything was just an in-between. Even us so-called immortals. Growth. I felt a tremor in my ki. As I ascended a realm, breaking through to the 13th realm, 1 billion years later, I was almost done. It had taken me so long, but I was almost done. I stared out at the massive galaxy cluster. This was the Divine Beast Emporium, a great clan spanning the entire multiverse, with a presence even in the lower realms. This universe was a peak realm, on par with the domains of the strongest clans and sects in existence. I stood out a little as an unaffiliated 9th rank cultivator, wandering onto the planet, but that was fine. I was disguised this time, and I had suppressed my cultivation level to the 9th stage, making sure not to draw attention. I flew across the planet's atmosphere, carried by my sword, until I reached a vast, continent-sized city. Finally, I made my way to the city's central district. A giant black and blue steeple stood at the heart of it all. The building was taller than any mountain on the planet, stretching high into the sky, piercing the clouds, and culminating in a small sun. This was where the god Imperiums resided. I had to be careful here. I was strong, but I was now treading very close to the most powerful beings in existence. If I angered the wrong person, I would be swatted out of existence by forces I still couldn't fully fathom. I headed for a smaller building. It was still immense, but far shorter than the steeple. Honored Master, a soft voice spoke. Allow me to attend to you and fulfill your needs during your visit. I looked to my left and saw a beautiful girl bowing at my side. I nodded and handed her a piece of jade. She took it from my hands and sent her divine sense into it to review the list I had composed. All of this, Honored Master? She asked. I nodded. The estimated cost will not be a problem, I cut her off. Of course. Honored Master. I did not mean to imply otherwise. It is merely that the price should be confirmed before the transaction. If my words have displeased you, I can. It's fine, I interrupted. I am not insulted. Just go fetch my wares. I understood the girl's caution. The species and beasts I wanted were exceptionally rare and expensive, and the quantity I had requested would likely make this their priciest purchase in months. Disgusting. That's what this world was. Pure, unvarnished nastiness. This servant, Mei Shan, greets the honored master, the girl said. She had returned, followed by a retinue of servants.